Here now, Freedom Caucus Chairman Andy Biggs, House Intel Committee ranking member, the guy that in his report, we now know from the Inspector General report, told the American people the truth about the dirty dossier, the bulk of information in the FISA applications, being Hillary Clinton's bought and paid for Russian dossier, and compared to Adam Schiff lied to the American people. Anyway, Congressman Nunes, thank you for telling the American people the truth, and I'm glad you've been vindicated.
Oh, you're welcome, Sean, and there's more lies today that you just saw on the Senate floor. Let's just start with today he was complaining. So, he claims he doesn't know the whistleblower. Then he was talking about how his staff didn't really coordinate with the whistleblower. Now those stories are changing. Then he was whining about how his staff are being attacked by people out in the public. Now, remember what I always say. Whatever they accuse you of doing, they're actually doing. It was only a few weeks ago that Adam Schiff and his staff doxed my former staff and my current staff by publishing their phone records and texts and emails for Chuck Schumer's new best friend, Parnas, that he invited to the Senate today.
I want to tell you something. They also gave out messages from my staff. Am I allowed to sue for that? Because I think that is an invasion of privacy, and they didn't delete it. Is that?
Well, I think the question is AT&T that owns CNN, that, once again, I'll just say they refuse to respond to their fake news stories. They refuse to retract their fake news stories about me and others. But AT&T has to answer that question, I think, at some point in court. And I know that they are being sued by Judicial Watch for just that. They should have at least notified those of us whose phone numbers were going to be in the production of Adam Schiff's subpoena.
Let me go back. Apparently, Alan Dershowitz has just gotten up, and he has a question on the framers of the Constitution. Let's listen to him. Wow. Alan Dershowitz, they had a commentator on MSDNC, the Conspiracy Theory Channel, Area 51, Roswell Rachel Maddow's channel. Harvard must be embarrassed. I bet Harvard's pretty proud tonight. Compelling arguments. Andy Biggs, your reaction to all of that. And I want to replay this Bolton tape in a second.
Yeah, I thought Alan Dershowitz did an excellent job there, because what he's talking about is the Democrats' position ultimately comes down to this. You can't investigate a political opponent for criminal conduct, because if you do, somehow that's violative of due process, that's violative, and it becomes bribery or extortion or some kind of high crime or misdemeanor. The reality is, and the point that Mr. Dershowitz just made, which is so good, is that you can't contextualize it that way. If someone has committed a corrupt act, they're not above the law. And so you're entitled to investigate. That's what the president was talking about. And just because he's running for election himself does not make it impermissible to seek and to investigate criminal conduct on the part of corrupt people just because they're running for office. That's a great argument.
Last word, Devin, we have to roll on here.
Well, real quick, Sean, I would say that the Democrats are going to need a long, long period of rehabilitation and re-education. And what you saw there tonight on the floor with Alan Dershowitz is the beginning of that re-education.
What great, phenomenal job. This was a beatdown today. And all right, so thank you both, Andy Biggs and Devin Nunes.